We know what the following symbols on the board represent. We know what addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are. Given two numbers, we know how to add them, we know how to subtract, we know how to multiply, and we know how to divide. Now, all these symbols on the board are called operations. An operation is some rule or definition which we are given, we're told to accept it, and then usually we use those operations or those definitions that we're told to accept in problems. So in school you'll be told how to add numbers, and then you'll be given problems to see if you actually know how to add numbers, if you know what that operation is telling you what to do. Or similarly, you may be told how to multiply numbers, so the operation now is multiplication. So I tell you how to multiply, or I give you the definition of what it means to multiply two numbers, and then I give you some problems and I see if you truly understand what it means to multiply numbers, or if you understand what the operation of multiplication signifies. Now, an operation is just this process. We invent something, I tell you how it works, and then we see if it has any utility usually. Let's do some few examples. Let's invent some our own operations. Let the first operation be the squiggly line. So let's take two random numbers. Let's say 2 is the first number and 2 is the second number. So 2 squiggly line 2, this operation signifies the following. I'm going to tell you what it means on the right hand side. We're going to just make this up as we go on. So let's say it tells us to take the first number, add it to the second number. Actually, you know what? Just to contrast it, let's change the second number to 1. So the first number is 2, the second number is 1. So 2 squiggly line 1 tells us we take the first number, we add it to the second number, which is 1, and then we divide that by the second number. So the squiggly line symbol tells us the following. You take whatever that first number is, which was 2, you add the second number to that number, to the first number, which was 2. So 2 plus 1, and then we also divide by 1. So this is what the squiggly line operation represents. Just to flesh it out so you understand what I'm trying to say, let's say you were given 2 more random numbers. Let's say you were given 3 squiggly line 4. The squiggly line operation tells us to do what? We take the first number, right? So the first number in this case is 3. Then it tells us to add the second number, which is 4. And then what do we do? And then the squiggly line symbol tells us to divide by what the second number is. So 3 squiggly line 4 tells us to take the first number 3, add 4, and divide by 4. So anytime you have two numbers, the first number will be on the left-hand side and the second number will be on the right-hand side. The squiggly line tells us you have to do the following operation on it. So you have to add the two numbers and divide by whatever that second number is. Let's invent another operation. So it's some rule I'm inventing and you're told to accept it, and then as you can see we apply it to questions. Let's say we invented, and you can be creative with your own symbols. You can let's create some creative symbol. Let's say this is the symbol. And we'll just call this fancy eye. So 3 fancy eye 1 is equal to the following. And now what we're going to do is we're going to define our operation. I'm just going to I'm going to tell you how this works. So this is the process of defining the operation. So now you know how to use it. So let's say it does the following. 3 fancy I 1 means that you take the first number, and you subtract the second number, and then you multiply by the addition of the first number and second number. So 3 fancy I1, this operation means the following. You take the first number, you subtract it by the second number, and then you multiply the sum of the two numbers, which is given here. And then you can evaluate it if you want. This would be 2, this would be multiplied by 4. So the final answer would be 8. So as you can see, an operation is very simple. You first have to come up with some symbol to represent that operation, and then you have to define how that operation works. And you can be very creative in how you want to operate, how you want your operator to work. I was just only focusing on the 4 symbols over here for the operation, which were, I said that if you had, for example, let's look at this one. I said 3 fancy I1, that involved subtraction and multiplication. But if you could somehow come up with some new concept for an operation, then that's valid as well. Like if you wanted to do some crazy thing, I don't even know, you have to invent something brand new, that's a valid operation. Like for example, at the time, maybe no one even knew what addition was. So someone had to invent what it means to add 2 numbers. That would be some new invented operation. Or no one knew what multiplication was, so someone had to invent what it means to multiply numbers. That would be another valid operation. So that's what operations are.